Welcome to this week's episode of the Thrill of Driving podcast. This is our motorsport special, as you can tell by Sirish's t-shirt. Sirish, what is this that you're wearing today?
So this is something that Volkswagen gave out at Pikes Peak last year. I was there when they set the record, the fastest run up Pikes Peak in the ID R, the electric car. This is the time, 7 minutes 57.148 seconds.
1 second. So you mean they turned up to the race with this t-shirt with blank spaces here?
Yeah. And then they wrote it, and like a fool, I went and washed it, and now it's all smudged.
But damn cool.
And then last month they went, or actually 2 weeks ago, they went to the Nürburgring and set the fastest time. But I'm sure they were gunning for the overall record, but that didn't happen. Yeah. But they set the fastest time for an electric car.
It's 6 minutes 05.33 something.
But that car is so bloody quick.
Yeah.
So I was at Pikes Peak. Okay, I was at one corner waiting for the thing to come, and you can hear these whooshing and whistling sounds. It's just that sheer arrow that is slicing through air and sucking it and spitting it out and doing God knows what stuff with it. You can see those huge wings, especially at Pikes Peak. You need those because as it goes higher, the air becomes thinner, so there's less downforce on the car. And then it's got the siren because Pikes Peak is a national forest, so it goes woo 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 coming up.
Warning animals,
Warning animals and human animals also to get off the road. Yeah. But it's unbelievable, that speed. It shocked me. And there were mad fast IC engine cars over there, and I'm a petrol head. Yeah. But the way that went, unbelievable.
And speaking of funny sounds coming from electric cars, that new Revolt motorcycle that was launched, the electric motorcycle.
Is that a motorcycle or is that a scooter? What is it?
It looks like a motorcycle. You sit on it like a motorcycle. But I'll tell you what, it's an electric bike, so obviously it makes no sound. But through an app, you can control what sort of traditional bike sound you want. So you can sort of set it up to sound like an inline 4 or a twin or a triple or whatever you want.
Listen, as journalists, we obviously have to do our research, right? The Revolt is a Super Soco 1200, which is made in China. You can go onto these Alibaba type e-commerce sites and you can buy 100 of them if you want, and you can sticker it and do whatever you want.
There is a slight difference. Those Super Socos they've got a hub motor, whereas this is a belt driven.
Okay,
so the motor is mounted differently. Small changes.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, if you read upon it, it says that it's got the performance of a 50cc petrol moped. So now if this thing is going to go as fast as a 50cc petrol moped while making R1 sounds, so you're doing 50cc speed, and going that's ridiculous, man. If you want to buy an electric scooter, and for all means, I'm all for it, right? But then be environmentally conscious. Environmental conscious is not just spitting out fumes from your ass. It is also being silent, because noise pollution is a big thing, right? Especially in India where everybody's honking and there's all these mad noises. So just be completely environmentally conscious. Don't make any noise. Don't spit out any nonsense from your exhaust pipe. Just be clean, be green.
Be clean, be green. But there have been a lot of other cool launches this week as well. The Kia Seltos, the global premiere happened just this week.
Yes, and it's really good looking. So we have seen it before and everything, and no, we've been embargoed against saying anything about it. But to finally see it in this context, in a proper press unveil, in a launch, it looks damn good. Okay, it's got a lot of shrouding and garnishes all over. It's got those fake twin exhaust pipes. But overall, there is really nothing to criticize, and that's what I said on Twitter, that no, it's our job to criticize.
Correct.
But I couldn't really criticize anything because it just looks so well turned out. It's nice, it's in your face without being too much in your face. It's got chrome without being too chromy or garish.
And it's a whole new design language that we haven't seen in India before, so it's fresh, it's properly fresh.
And the best part is, this will now force everybody else to make even better looking cars. It's not like we're getting shit looking cars nowadays. The cars today are good looking. Case in point, the Harrier. No, the Harrier is the one that started off this whole thing of the headlights where you traditionally expect the fog lamps to be and all
India.
In India. So we will get even better looking cars. You cannot make a dull, boring or shit styled car anymore
and expect it to sell. I mean, people demand it now. And it's got some pretty cool drivetrains too. It's got a
naturally aspirated 1.6 engine. It's got a 1.4 turbo, which is made into a 7-speed twin clutch, which is available on the GT line. So this is like the first sort of sporty SUV in the category.
And if I'm not wrong, it gets a DCT.
That's what the 7-speed DCT.
Yeah.
So the turbo petrol only gets the DCT. So that's cool. It also have a manual, but you can only get the DCT on the turbo petrol. Then it's got the diesel engines, the diesel engine with an automatic as well as a manual. With the petrol engine, the regular naturally aspirated, you can also get a CVT. So the 3 engines, 4 gearboxes, it's got like a load of stuff on it, And the best part is 300,000 cars. That's the capacity at Anandpur, Kia's brand new facility. They will launch 1 new car every year for the next 4 years, which will be made here. This Seltos is not just made for India. It is made for the world. So the Seltos, the code name is SP2I. I stands for India. There's an SP2K for Korea, SP2A for America. Korea will make the Seltos the same what we get over here. Different powertrains, of course. They'll make it for Korea. They'll sell it to, export it to the US. This is a global car. So we are getting cars which are made for the world, which is fantastic. So there are no compromises. It's not like this is a third world car with thin steel and stripped down of parts. No,
the venue was just like that too.
Exactly. So what you could buy if you're in the States, what you can buy in the States is the same as what you'll be able to buy in India, but with different powertrains. But you're getting a 1.4 turbo with a twin clutch gearbox. What more do you want? No, you're getting the best that you can get in the world.
Yeah, and the other big but small launch this week was the Renault Triber.
So again, on the styling front that I'm talking about, the Triber also a damn good looking car.
I think it looks like a captor and a quid had a bit of a naughty time, and at least from the front. The nose is.
So is the quid bad looking? No. Is the capture bad looking? No. I think both are well styled cars. And the Triber, you go into a launch expecting to hate something. Okay? I don't like MPVs. I don't like 7-seaters. Right? But then when you look at it, when the wraps came off it, it was like, shit, man, this is good looking. There isn't much to criticize. I've seen test mules running on small wheels, huge wheel arch caps, but now it looks proportionate.
And it's got good styling too. Even the rear, the way they've done the roof rails, they've got a stylish.
And you know what the roof rails do? The roof rail actually hides a step in the roof. So it's very thoughtfully designed, which is why I really like it, because the engineers have actually put a real amount of effort into it. So the roof rails hide a step in the roof. The step is there so that you release more headroom for the rear passengers. So even if you sit in the absolute third row, you still have headroom.
And coming to the way the seats are laid out, the obvious question is it's sub 4 meters. How much room can you actually get on the inside for, say, the second and third rows?
So I can fit in the third row. It is torture. But I can fit inside, right? So if you desperately need to transport 7 people, you can. And I'm used to bigger cars, and I'm slightly bigger than the average Indian. So the regular Indian, who doesn't eat too much, can fit in it. All right. For kids, excellent, no problem at all. And the best part is, it is not a 7-seater all the time. So the back to seats, those are folded and put in a bag. So it will be delivered in a bag. Right?
You're talking about the
seats,
the
third row seats. Both the back and the lower squab will be in a bag. When you want it, it takes 20-30 seconds to put it. Just two clicks, and you have the seat. So most of the time, when you don't need that, and most of the time, and nobody needs 7 seats, you have a 625 liter boot, which is huge.
And I think the second row slides up and down.
The second row slides. So when those rear 2 seats are not being used, you slide the middle row and you get a lot of room. And it's intelligently designed again. So the seat height, the edge point, the hip point is actually high. So you sit properly. It's not like your knees are up in the air. There is a dip under the seats, the front seat, so you can put your feet under it. It's very ergonomically designed. There are vents for the second row on the B pillar. There are vents for the third row on top. And I think that will also be there on the base versions, because what are they going to do with that? They can't really blank that out. The dashboard, it is the quid platform, right? But the dashboard is all new. Again, it's a sub 4 meter car. It will undercut the Ertiga, so it's not that you get leather and all of that. But for the thing, it's actually quite nice.
I have a question though. Can you take out the second row of seats and get like Range Rover spec legroom in the?
So the second row, it slides forward. It folds. So. Okay, I understand. So basically, it's sitting right at the back,
and you're freeing up enough room to sort of stretch out and kick your legs in front.
Shit, if I was as smart as you, I would have tried that out. I don't think you can take out the second row, But I'm sure, you take a couple of tools, you can take it off. And then,
you got your Triber with Range Rover legroom.
Wow, yeah. Adish, you're using your brain, huh?
But yeah, we're not here to talk just about news. This is our motorsport special, and there's a lot happening in motorsport. Let's talk about Formula One.
That what Vettel, that whole controversy. Yeah, but listen, the whole world has been talking about it, right? Let's talk about Indian motorsport. Let's talk about what we know.
What do we know?
We know that Gaurav Gill has gone to JK.
What?
So, Gaurav Gill, multiple Indian National Rally champion, 2-time APRC champion, the best rally driver India has or has ever had. Okay, he's off back to JK, back to where he started off. He started off as a JK driver. Okay, he started off in rallying. Then when JK quit rallying, he went to racing, won a couple of racing championships. Then brought JK back into rallying. He took the national championship. He was going to get the national championship. Then there was little political issues going on at the team, so he had to slow down and all of that. And then in a huff, plus he got a great opportunity to go to the APRC, so he went with MRF. He's been with MRF for 12 years. With them, he's won 2 APRC titles, a lot of stuff in India.
He made it to WRC.
And MRF took him to the WRC last year. This year, MRF is taking a break from the WRC as they develop the tyres, obviously absorbing all the feedback that they got over the last year. But Gaurav, he's now at the peak of his career. He's at the peak of his fitness. It's a fact that nobody's getting any younger either. He doesn't want to be sitting at home. And now with JK committing to rallying, he's got this excellent opportunity to not just go and do the WRC. So Gaurav Gill will be doing the WRC2 this year. He's going to do 3 rounds. Turkey, Great Britain,
what car
Australia. He'll be driving the Fiesta, the R5 Fiesta, the all-wheel drive Fiesta with M Sport. He now understands the Fiesta. No point going back to Skoda. He understands how the team works. So some sort of like I say, grounding, some sort of familiarity is always good, because now he has to go out and perform. He has to go out, and he's driven with all these WRC2 top flight drivers because they've all come to the APRC.
And he's beaten a lot of them.
He's beaten them to the championship also, not just rallies, not just stages. But now he has to prove himself, because now he's done 1 year in the WRC2, not the full season, but he's done a few rallies, right? So now all eyes will be on him. So and he's going to be
doing the Indian Championship as well.
What he's going to do in India, so he's a Mahindra driver, works driver. Mahindra Adventure are building the Super XUV 300. Okay, so it's not called Super XUV, it's called, I don't know what's the name called. So they called the XUV 500 the Super XUV. So this will probably be the
Super Mini XUV.
Super Mini XUV. So anyway, the XUV 300 is being built for the INRC. Gaurav Gill will be driving that. Mahindra Adventure has a partnership with MRF, a very successful partnership. So what tires will Gaurav Gill's XUV be driving on, will be running on, is a big question mark.
In fact, but we're gonna Hari from office is going to be watching Gill test out the XUV for the first time next week. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to report to you live from there.
So watch our social media handles. We will have all that info for you. Also, for the Rally Championship starts in 2 weeks. There's going to be a Baleno RS. There's going to be Volkswagen's 1.2 turbo petrol. So up until now, Volkswagen has run the 1.6 naturally aspirated engine. Last year at the Popular Rally, I drove the R2 spec of that. Also beat Gill in 2 stages.
He doesn't fail to mention that whenever he talks about this.
Well done. Up till now they've been doing that, but this 1.2 turbo engine will be even quicker. Karna Kadur will be driving it. I don't know if he's got the sequential gearbox on it, if testing has been done on it, but that sequential gearbox also makes a difference. But now Karna, supported by JK Tyre in the R2 in the Polo 1.2 turbo, Gaurav Gill supported by JK in the XUV 300. Yunus Ilyas, who did really well in that Popular Rally that I drove at, he's going to be in the Race Concepts prepared CDR. And Race Concepts, Joel Joseph, he built some mad engines. So that's also going to be there. This Rally Championship is going to be
insane,
mad to watch, mad.
It's going to be the first exciting Rally Championship in a long time. 55
entries. A brand new promoter, Champions Yacht Club, shout out to them. They've got 55 entries for the opening round in Chennai. That's more than any of the rallies that I've been at. So packed grids. The championship is looking super.
Let's hope they can fit it into a day.
2 days.
So like
no longer, and that's the thing. No longer that stupid 1 day rallying also. Now back to proper 2-day rallies on Friday, the super special stage. So rallying is supposed to be that if you're going to be spending so much of money, you don't want to do just 1 day. If you break down on the first stage on the first day, then you're finished. No, but here you can restart and you can do all of that. So that's great. The Rally Championship is looking great, and the racing series, which is going to be 1 week before the rally this weekend. As you watch this, it's actually live. That's also going to be super. The ITC category, which is the premier tin top series, VW is finally going to be in it with a full works car. 3 drivers, Kartik Tharani, who's been their test driver for very long, Ishan Dodiwala and Dhruv Mohite, all their past Polo, Emio, Bento Cup champions. They'll be driving the car. It's a Vento. So this is the Vento. Okay, it has the 1.8 turbo engine in it. The ITC now finally allows turbo cars, unlike earlier where only naturally aspirated cars were there, and Volkswagen was really having an uphill task with the powers that be to allow modern cars. Others has been age-old esteems. So finally we have a contemporary car, the Vento in it. That will be going up against the ITC's cars, the other ITC cars, race concepts again. They'll be making a turbo city. And Race Concepts makes really quick cars. We did a story on that also.
We drove all, how many, 5, 6 of
We drove all the road cars and we also drove their race cars. And bloody hell, man, that car moved. Now with the turbo, it will move even more. Arca, who won the championship last year and the years before that, they're obviously not sitting still. So they'll probably dump a turbo onto their esteems. Again, that thing will fly. So you will have crazy fast cars in the racing championship also.
And it's nice. I mean, Volkswagen's entry is obviously pushing them to work harder. When they sort of sat back and said, we've plateaued where
Well, not sat back, because the fight between Race Concepts and Arca has been immense.
But the performance sort of plateaued, right?
So again, when you look at it visually, that's what you think. But these cars, the City VTEC, the naturally aspirated, and the Esteem, they were the fastest front-wheel drive cars of their capacities in the world. So these guys, and I know that I've worked with them before, they get supplies from God knows where. Some of them also supply to Formula 1. They won't tell you whom, but
are you serious?
Yeah, the kind of stuff that goes into their engines, it's high tech like you would not believe.
Wow.
Now, from the outside, it looks those beat up cars, but shit, man, they move. They really move. And now they're getting more contemporary. This will obviously push other manufacturers to come in. I hope, I pray that it comes in. And
so exciting times for Indian motorsport.
Racing is going to be hot. Rallying is going to be hot. Karting is picking up. JK is going to bring cross karts to India. That's another thing. Those are like go-karts, but with it's like an off-road buggy, 600cc bike engines in it. Rear wheel drive, running on dirt, so you're sideways all the way.
And they're also reviving their 4-stroke.
They're reviving their 4-stroke karting, so that whole grassroots motorsport movement for a lot of racing as well as rallying with the cross karts, that's going to take off. It's great times to be a motorsport enthusiast.
Brilliant.
And we've got a lot of stuff in it. So this is the latest issue of our Motorsport magazine. Is the official motor racing magazine of the country, and we've got the cover star Naren Karthikeyan.
He's still racing.
Who is not just racing, he's being paid to drive. So we all know that Formula 1, you take a budget and you go there. Now, because he's so good and he's so popular with the fans in Japan,
surprising, right?
So that Nakajima's racing team, they're running the Honda NSX. They have got Naren, they're paying for Naren to go and drive with them in the Japanese Super GT, which is one of the fastest tin top racing series in the world, if not the fastest.
He's racing an NSX.
It's
crazy. I mean,
so our guys, Karun Chando, he's doing a damn good job in commentary. Man, if anybody says that Indian motorsport is going nowhere, one tight slap. And on that note,
that's it for this episode of the Thrill of Driving podcast. We stretched it a little over our 15 minutes, but we had a lot to say this week. So
and motorsport is a topic that's really close to our hearts. So now do watch racing, watch rallying. If you want to really get into cars, you want to understand how to drive cars, how to tune cars, whatever, there's no better deal like motorsport. And now with this whole grassroots motorsport getting a proper revival, karting as well as the cross karts, try it out. I've tried it out, and it's been the most fun I've ever had.
He made me try it out, and I can vouch for that too.
And he did bikes as well as cars. So why don't you do some racing?
I mean, you sent Abhishek out this time, so
Come on, Adish, you can do something for yourself. Anyway, you catch us next week where we will have more of the news, more of what we are driving, more of what we are riding, and hopefully we'll be doing some motorsport.